Hey guys, how's it going? Thanks for joining me for another Puzzle and Dragons video. I'm Alpha, and today we're going to be going over version 9.6 update notes. They were just recently released. The European server, I guess, is live with the version. Of course, Japan got it about a month and a half ago, and we will be getting it tonight. So today is the 25th, Wednesday, and it'll be going live as of Thursday morning. So definitely make sure. I think the server is shut down about 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time or Eastern, whatever, Eastern Time. So it'd be 8 o'clock Pacific. So get all your runs in before that. So let's hop into some of these notes. It's pretty cool. We get a pretty big update to the entire game here. So one of the first things we get is the skill inheritance or skill transfer changes into the assist system. And I'm going to put a note to everything I'm going over in the comment section, so you'll be able to find it there. Um, but basically, they're doing away with TANs for the skill transfer. So you only need um, to select it in a menu, pretty much. So basically, the way it works, here, we're gonna hop over into that part. So as long as you're rank 130 or higher, then you're going to be able to inherit a second active skill from a different monster. So basically, that used to be called skill transfer, skill inheritance. I forget what it was. I guess it's right right in front of me. Skill transfer. It's on the screen. Um, and you needed to have that monster to the point where he could have awakenings, have him fully awoken, has to be at least 5 stars and max level. So you're keeping 3 out of those 4 requirements, but you're getting rid of max level, and that makes a huge, huge difference. That saves you millions and millions of XP to get useful inherits on different monsters. I can't even tell you how many monsters with great active skills I have that are just sitting there not being transferred or inherited because I didn't want to throw, tons and tons of super kings or snow globes to get them leveled up. So that is completely gone. So that is amazing. But it gets even better. You don't need TANs anymore. All you need at this point is there'll be a new menu where it says Manage Assist. You click on that. You select the monster you want. You select the monster that you'll be using the active skill of. And that's pretty much it. It costs 1 million now instead of 2 million. You don't need the TANs anymore. And if the monster you are inheriting has the same base attribute, so a dark card to a dark card, the example they show is Dark Kali and Halloween Arun, I think is who it is. Um, and you get a boost to all the stats. It seems like a small boost, but it is, yeah, I mean, in the example they show a few hundred, okay, it's 10%. You get a 10% on hit points, looks like 5% attack, and I can't figure out what it is with recovery, but 1/7, I don't know. Looks like around that. Okay, so you're getting a decent boost. It's not huge, but it's something. You're getting some extra stats on the cards you're inheriting. So I mean, even if you don't intend to use that active skill, you could go with a completely unskilled monster that's the same attribute. Someone that has a really long active skill. Let's say it's a 30 turn or 25 turn active skill, and you're never gonna get it up anyways. You can get a boost to your monster cards just by transferring a skill now, or I guess assisting. And the same thing, remove the assist, and it has the same requirements. If a monster has their skill being used, then they're unable to go on any sort of team. Also, if they get some sort of new um, evolution and you evolve them and they no longer have all their awakenings, they will stay as an inherited monster. But if they're removed from that, they won't be able to be added back on until you get them fully awoken. So basically, pile up some Tamas. We got Tamadras today. I don't know exactly what time, so I don't have to look it up. Pile up some Tamas. Get all those underused cards awoken and get them ready. So that was the first big change. So now you're free. It costs 1 million, so it's not free, but you're completely free to stop farming TANs for that reason, and you get a lot more flexibility to build a team based around the dungeon you're going into. You don't have to worry about, oh man, I only have, 3 red tans, and if I use them for this one dungeon, then I want to, actually use the monster that I'm inheriting, so I'm losing those and I have to farm more. It was such a pain that way, but now tans become a lot more useful in other ways, which we're about to get to, and you can skill inherit for any specific dungeon you're going into, at the cost of 1 million per inheritance. So pretty awesome. Okay, so the next big thing, the Tan series, and I'm pretty sure it is Tan, but I said Tan at first, so I'm sticking to it. I don't care. Tan series, Ultimate Evolutions in Guaranteed Skill Ups. This is amazing. Tans just became more valuable than Ps in some aspect. So basically, what happens is you need to have 5 Tans, right? So it would look something like this. If we go, actually, I'm not going to be able to select them for a skill up, but it's going to be something like this, right? So let's see. I've got, for instance, all these dark tans. Now I can't select them for a skill up, but let's pretend, um, whatever. This is a dark tan, and we're going to go. So this is going to be like the evolution, right? So you need a total of 6 there. So if you evolve, it'll be an ultimate evolution. So it'll be that evolution screen, not a power up screen. Don't go powering up your tans, which I don't think you can anyways. They just evolve. Um, but that'll make them become king tans, and at that point they will guarantee a skill up. So basically, how this works. So let's go ahead and um, let's do the same sort of thing, right? So let's say we got our very valuable monster here. Do I have light ones just to show? No, okay, we're sticking with the dark ones. There's my okay, so here's our example. So I just have dark, dark tans. But let's pretend that's a dark king tan. And that's of course going to be a dark monster, okay? That's a dark firefly squid now. So I'm using a king tan that's the same attribute of the base monster. And now if I have 4 skill up fodder there, it will guarantee every single one of them will work. So this totally changes skilling up monsters. I almost want to like reread this to make sure I didn't completely mess it up because it is such a big change to the way it works. Um, so yeah, I just reread it. That is exactly how it works. So if you have 1 King Tan and then 4 skill up fodder, so they show an example that's Hades, and they use a Hera Ice, which might seem confusing. It's the same active skill. So again, I'll link all this stuff, but they show Hades is just an ultra gravity, with the Hera Ice as the same active skill, and a Dark King Tan, and that will guarantee 4 skill ups for Hades. So now you're no longer needing to farm for 4 different bad Ps to get 4 skill ups. You only need to get 4 of the fodder and then a king tan. So tans and king tans became so valuable now that you can go ahead and max skill off 1 feeding. You just need to get the skill up fodder. So it's going to totally change how much you need to farm, collab dungeons, when they're around. Pretty much any sort of skill up gets way easier. Um, how does it sound to farm up a max skilled Mir? And what is she? I think you'd have to do 15 levels. Let's say that's 4 feedings, and then you'd need 4 light king tans, and that's it. Then you're done. You don't have to grind it forever to get those skilled up monsters. So it's fantastic. Um, so that is how the new king tans are going to work, and how it's going to completely change the skill up requirements and farming. Let's see, new latent awoken skills. So we're getting new, so obviously we have the latent skills down at the bottom, right? The resist and all that sort of stuff. We're getting new latent awoken skills. And you get all stats enhanced. God killers, dragon killers, devil killers, machine killers, balance killers, attacker killer, physical killer, healer killer. Now, there are limits to who can get these. You can't throw any killer on any type of monster. I'm not going to go through all of them, but like for example, God Killer can be put on Balance type, Devil type, Machine type. Dragon Killer can go on Balance type and Healer type, etc., etc. It goes on and goes on. But the one thing you're going to notice is that a Balance type monster can take any type of killer. So they become a lot more flexible, which kind of makes sense if it's balanced. You know, it's not going to be overwhelmingly large with recovery or attack or hit points like a physical attacker or healer might be. But they're kind of good in everything, so it kind of makes sense that they can take any type of killer, which is pretty awesome because, um, I mean, to be honest, I haven't played this in JP. My box isn't that advanced. I don't have any of those latent awoken killers, but I imagine they're obviously not as strong as a full killer awakening, but they'll definitely buff up attack against certain types of enemies a decent amount, and it could be worth just piling on with some and having them be able to one shot certain types of enemies. So, you know, if you have two God Killers on a monster, throw some more God Killers, and you know that card alone will be able to one shot or whatever. I don't know, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't know if there's going to be very specific ways to use that, but that's what's off the top of my head right now. Quality of life stuff we're getting. We're getting a change to the power up fusion. So now, if you are putting in the latent skills down at the bottom, you fill them up. Like here's an example, right? So back when those things were super tough to get, I went and did, whoops, not Anubis, Yomi Dragon. And I don't really have any regrets giving Yomi Dragon 2 skill delay resist or the dark resist, but it's just ugly looking, right? It doesn't balance out. That HP is just sitting there for no real reason. I really don't care about it. So if I wanted to put another dark resist in to at least make it look a bit better, I know this is very, you know, the aesthetics of latent awoken skills are very important. Um, but you know, if I wanted to get rid of that, I can select which one I want to get rid of. It used to be you'd feed them in one way and they'd be forced out one way. So, for instance, if you fed a skill delay resist first and then put the other things in afterwards, which I think right now it's like the opposite way, right? So it's like my HP went in, I think first, and then the dark resist, skill delay resist. So if I just added, you know, another dark resist, it would bump everything to the left. Um, but you know, if I started with the skill delay resist and then I wanted to remove an attack enhance, so let's see, I know I've got some cards that are like that. Let's see who's like that. Maybe let's do this. This will make it easier. No, he's all hit points. Perfect. There we go. Okay. So I start and end with a skill delay resist. I do not want to just feed in something else. If I want to get rid of those attack enhances and make them into whatever I want to make them into, I can select those ones to come out and then new ones to come in. So that way you don't have to be forced to feed an entire new set, which when you're talking about skill delay resist, they're pretty tough to come by in order to change the latents on a card. So that's pretty amazing. Um, let's see some new awoken skills. The 7 combo, so it's enhance attack or increase attack when you hit 7 combos. That recently came out with the New Year's dungeon in JP, and New Year's Yomi had that awakening. I don't know if it's shown up on other cards since then. That's the one that I remember because it was the first one. I think that means we're going to be getting the New Year's dungeon next week, I'd imagine. Auto recover awoken skill has received an upgrade. It now buffs heals you up 800 hit points. It's still not much of anything, but it's better than nothing, I guess. um, and Arena 3 now has the um, Latent Tamadra Attacker Killer. Monsters like Latent Tamadra Attacker Killer. So basically, the new Latent Killer Awakenings can appear in Arena 3. So that definitely explains why I don't have any on my JP account. Let's see, other quality of life, background music and sound effects can now be adjusted up and down separately, so it's not just on or off. And then phone volume, you could adjust them separately. Very useful. I don't really use volume when I play anyways, but I know some people like to. Um, Record sorting order. Let's see what this is. Screens like Monster Box and Select Helper Screen have their chosen display settings recorded separately. Um, Record sorting order. No idea. I'm gonna have to see that in action. The wording doesn't make too much sense to me. Don't know. Um, let's see. You can order your box by assist and by skill. That's pretty useful. Um, which basically means the skill sorting option under special has been removed, and then you could pull up, whoever has assist up top. News and quest buttons have been moved up top, so you can see all the quests that you have and all the the prizes you can get from them right up top in the top right of the screen, and you can see the daily news very easily that way as well. Other bug fixes, improvements, which are just various and not actually listed. So pretty big updates, and of course, what everyone's wondering is, are we going to be getting an Ultimate Evolution for um, this big boy here? Where are you at? There we go. He's definitely overdue. The MP monsters are kind of overdue for their evolutions now. Just looking at the timeline of other releases compared to when it was released in Japan and when it was released in North America. So hopefully by tomorrow morning we'll have the, I don't know, super ultimate version of Raw Dragon, whatever it'd be called, which is far and away still at this point the most powerful all around card in the JP server. So you better believe when we get it, it will be the most powerful card. And I'm ready to get my Raw Dragon up and running. Actually, I still need to get my Machine Zeus. I have to admit, I need to pick up a Machine Zeus. It's the last thing I need. I tried last night with my alt account and fell short a couple times. But I'll have that up and running. Anyways, guys, that is version 9.6 with everything that we're getting. As I said, the links will be in the comment section down below. And if you like this, if you enjoy me kind of talking through some of these things, hit that like button. Let me know in the comment section if you think it's a waste of time and you could just read them on your own. Let me know as well. It's totally fine. My feelings won't be hurt. I like to make content that you guys enjoy. That's about all for today. We'll get some other runs. I actually didn't finish those challenge dungeons last time. It was kind of crazy. I got through 9 and did the XP dungeon and still couldn't rank up to get my stamina in for 10 right before the dungeon ended. I was spending all day cheering on my Patriots. Let's go, Pats! Heading to the Super Bowl again. And did not run the dungeons, but there'll be other dungeons to run. It's okay. Um, but I also did the one-time challenge and didn't record it. I kind of started it off. What did I run that with? I ran that with Minerva and Ilm, which worked out pretty well. Anyways, guys, sorry I didn't get those things recorded. It looks like my phone is off, and I think we're gonna call it right there, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Alpha, and you'll see me next time.